Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing another tier list. I know I did one not very long ago in January already, and it's still January. Typically, I don't like to do more than one in a month. However, they did release 4 new heroes and kind of did a couple balance changes. So I figure it's probably a good time to do another one. Now that we've seen the new heroes for a little while, kind of see what they do. Players have come up with builds and learn how to actually play the characters. Again, this is based on my experience, and I wondered about doing 2 separate tier lists, one for gun builds and one for spirit builds, but I decided to just keep it all in one tier list because I think it's too much. This is just overall how good the character is, how good it feels to play, how hard it is to go against, and if they win or do good, like, right? They just feel strong, basically. Not specific for gun or spirit. So Abe, honestly, I think Abe has been in a really good spot. I know I put him in A like every single time. He might be I'm either gonna put him first place A or bottom S. And the reasoning why is because he can play up front. His stuns are really good, and with the new heroes in, they coordinate really well. He can pretty much deny rejuve stills with his ult. He can go for rejuve stills with his ult. He combos very well with many of the characters. He's a really good hero. I might move him here, but we'll see. I might move him to the bottom. Bebop. I never feel like Bebop is terrible, but I never really feel like he's good. I might put him like low B, like maybe like somewhere around here on B. I don't think he's quite C, but his hooks are always good. If you can catch someone out, that could snowball a game into ending, and you can just win like that. His ult is alright for zoning, and it can be comboed pretty well. Like if you ult into a dynamo ult, everybody will die. So there are play potential, but I feel like everyone knows how to play around him well enough, and they get debuff remover, they avoid the hooks, things like that, so he can't quite shine. His gun build is pretty good, but they did actually nerf all gun builds across the board. They nerfed bullet damage, they nerfed bullet damage scaling, so a little bit weaker. I'm gonna put him in B for now. Calico, she's one of the new heroes. She, in my opinion, might be the strongest character in the game. Like, unironically, she might be strongest character in the game. She is for sure S, 100%. Let's think about it. Her mobility is insane. Her ability to gank is insane because she can move across the map super fast, undetected on the map. She has probably the safest and easiest ult to execute in the entire game. Has a really short cooldown. The dash scratch ability, I forget the name of it, but that hits really hard, and you just build around it, so it hits really hard. It heals you a ton. They did just barely nerf it, so it won't heal off of minions, but it still heals a ton if you hit a hero. Her grenades are really strong if you can land them all. They don't land very easily, but you can just dash up into their face, scratch them, and then throw all their grenades on them. So it's not too hard. I actually do think she's the strongest hero in the game right now, like, unironically. Dynamo. Dynamo's ult alone pretty much says he can never be lower than B, but his knockup is honestly not that good right now. His heal is okay, not that good. His quantum singularity is good. I still am in the same spot with Dynamo, where I think his ult is really good. Has a really long cooldown though, so it's, and everyone knows to avoid it. The heal is not very good, the knockup is not very good. The only 2 abilities he has that are actually good is his quantum singularity and his ult. However, and also, his gun build kind of sucks, to be honest. Like, I know some people get it and they do damage, whatever, but literally every other character with the same net worth would just do more, it feels like. I'm going to put him below Bebop in B for now. I don't think he'll ever drop to C just because his ult is what it is, and it's just really good. But he's definitely not A or S, so I think B is a fair place for him. Granny Grey Talon. I always talk trash on this hero, and I'm going to continue to talk trash on this hero. So he's not very good at all, to be honest. He's one-dimensional. He's really squishy. He can't really carry games on his own. Yes, in like high-level play, you can coordinate the birds a little easier, whatever, but you could do that with every ult, so that doesn't necessarily make him good, in my opinion. His gun build is absolutely trash. His spirit build is pretty good if he's really good at landing the arrows, but that's just it. It's if he's really good at landing the arrows. The trap, most of the times you don't get any value off it. It's really easy to avoid. It's basically just a zoning ability. It's not really an ability to do damage. The fly is like a worse version of Vindicta's Fly. So it's just he's just he's just a way worse version of Vindicta playing the same role. So if you're gonna play that role, you're just as well play Vindicta instead. So I'm not committing him to being dead last, but I am committing him to being in D. He sucks. Surprisingly, this is the one of the few characters that I don't get a lot of complaints about. I think everyone knows he sucks. Hayes. I know I get complaints about Hayes all the time. I get comments saying, "What rank is this guy? Does he even play the same game as me?" Like, well, things like that. Hayes is not very good. I am still committing to the train where Hayes is just not very good. She plays pretty much one style. She has a slight variant if you want to do more into the Spirit Dagger build and go specifically for ganking. But late game, you end up in the same spot. It's not very good, to be honest. There's other heroes that are more impactful, more better. Her ult is not very good either. It's easy to stop. It's easy to avoid. Yes, she can. Yes, I think one of her strongest combos right now is to sleep dagger somebody, walk up, blowing hex them so they can't use any movement abilities, and then instantly ult. And yes, that can kill people, but it requires you to land a pretty hard skill shot, and for them to not be paying enough attention, and to have no one else around. Like it works, but it's not overpowered. So I'm gonna say C, probably high end C, but I don't think she's good. And in my mind, it's like really strong, good spot, weak, overpowered, trash. Let's think of it like that. Holiday, I'm going to actually say S. Here's why. That doesn't mean every holiday's good. And so, okay, holiday is like Pocket, where I have to judge Pocket off of the good pockets, not the trash pockets, right? Because if I judge it off of just the average pocket, the guy's D every time. But a good pocket it's the same as holiday. A good holiday, this character is actually overpowered. The crack shot hits way too hard because it has no bullet drop off. In my opinion, it should have bullet drop off, but that's fine either way. The barrels are insane. You can just juggle a person from 2,000 to 2,000 or 3,000 health clear to dead. It's insanely OP. A good holiday is what I'm basing it off of. The character is S. Just because a person sucks at a character doesn't mean the character is bad. The character is S. She's overpowered. She honestly needs to be toned down a little bit. Plus, there are a bunch of bugs that you could do with the jump pad. So with Warpstone right now, if you hit the jump pad and it instantly blink back to the ground, it stores the stun, the slam down. It stores the stun. Like you're on the ground walking, but it doesn't detonate. So if you just jump, it'll detonate. And what you could do at that point, so you can put it down, store the stun. You can walk up to somebody, just jump on them, boom, stun them, instantly put a jump pad down, and then do it again with the warp stone, and then just barrel, and they're dead. And there's nothing to do about that because you're stunned for 2.5 seconds, and then you're just bouncing up and down with the barrel. So, yeah, I know I've said it enough. She's overpowered. She honestly needs to be nerfed. At least the bugs need to be fixed that make her even more overpowered, and then we'll talk. But right now, she's S. Infernus. He honestly feels like Hayes, where it's like he's a little one-dimensional. He's not absolutely crazy insane. He I don't know. He feels similar in my mind. He feels similar to Hayes. So I'm kind of going off of vibes here. I'm not saying like is he technically better or technically worse than Hayes? I don't really know, but he feels the same. So I'm gonna just say they're tied, but I can't really stack them up. So these guys are tied, and everyone already knows what he does. His ult is the easiest thing in the world to avoid and dodge, and so easy to punish. His dash build is way too easy to punish because you could just play high ground. It's really fun to play that build, but it's not very effective, to be completely honest. Ivy. Right now, Ivy. Let's think about it. Ivy might be right here. And here's why. So, I always give Ivy automatic +1 because she could fly the urn. Automatic +1. Like, no matter, like, she probably would be here. If she couldn't fly the urn, took that out of her kit, I'd probably put her right here. Because she can, I'm just going to instantly +1. It's so overpowered. It can come back games and it can snowball leads. It gives really good map control. She is probably the best person for securing mid boss or stealing mid boss because she can use the statue form, and it's a super short cooldowns. All basically always going to be available. Her damage is all right. She has a lot of team playability. The thorns still are really annoying. They're still not overpowered, but they're really strong. So it basically the urn is what makes her OP, in my opinion. And maybe I shouldn't say OP because I'm not putting her up in S, but I'm gonna put her in A to be fair. And the thing that boosts her up here, in my opinion, is the urn. So I think they should make sure she can't do that, and make sure she, at the very least, has to carry a person holding the urn. But the fact that she can do it solo and just do it in 10 seconds is ridiculous. Kelvin, I know I always talk trash on Kelvin and say he's like, oh, he's so terrible, but actually, he's been all right. He's been all right recently. I feel like he isn't super strong, and like he's not broken for sure, but he's not trash. I'm gonna put him at the very, very bottom of B. I don't know if that's a good spot for him right now, but that's where I'm gonna put him. His ult, I kind of got to be fair because I'm basing this off of a good one and this off of a good one. A good Kelvin's gonna use good ults, gonna rotate good, it's gonna rescue beam good, and I've seen a couple of good ones now. I went the longest time with only seeing trash Kelvins, but I've seen enough good ones that I'm like, you know what, the character's actually pretty good. I don't ever play the character, so I just have to go off of what I see other people. I'm gonna put Lady Geist at the very bottom of A. I might move her down to first place B, but I'm gonna put her at the bottom of A. And the reason being, I think she's a little bit strong right now, especially after they nerfed kind of gun builds. Her ult build still really funny. It still one shots. It's kind of a meme. It's not very good, but it is funny. It's better to play around her Malice. Put Mystic Reverb on the Malice. Play around that. The bombs are really good for clearing waves. Really good for making so people can't push. Really good for pushing. She kills buildings really fast because Malice stacks on buildings. Her damage is good. Her gun's good. She farms. She's one of the better farmers. She's not the best farmer, but she's one of the better farmers because she can get her grenade to one shot the camps really early on. She's in a good spot. She's in a good spot. That's all I'll say. Lash. I actually think Lash isn't as strong as he's annoying. He's more just he's really annoying in lane. He's kind of annoying if he's getting his ults off. But he's one of those players, or he's one of those characters that, like, if you're not ahead, he's terrible. He is probably the weakest character playing from behind. He's really good ahead, obviously, but everybody's really good ahead. It's easier to shut down a Lash if you're like 2k up than it is to shut down any other character. I'm gonna put him low B. I'm gonna put him below Kelvin in B. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna put him below Kelvin. Actually, I don't feel like he's amazing. I feel like he's annoying in lane. I feel like his ult is kind of annoying, easy to avoid. His slam is kind of annoying, easy to avoid. He's behind. He's trash. Magnificent Sinclair. Maybe this is just I haven't seen a bunch of good ones, and maybe I just suck at him because I've been playing him, and he's fun. He's really strong. He might be the strongest person in lane phase, but after lane phase, it's kind of hard to be super effective on him because you're really squishy. You have the ability to like blow someone up, I guess, if you catch him with a bunny. The ult is annoying to use because when you steal an ult, you only have it for 10 seconds. What I think it should be, in my opinion, is you should have it until you use it once. So if you like steal a dynamo ult, you can hold it and then like use it later on. But the fact that you have to get right next to them, steal it, and it takes like a second and a half to steal, and then you have 10 seconds to pop it. So it's like you have to find an opportunity to pop it immediately. It's really hard to really be effective. I have actually stolen a dynamo ult and then got like a 4-man, but that's pure luck. That's just enemy bad positioning, me somehow not being dead yet, and then I steal it and then ult, right? It's really easy to punish this character, and he almost doesn't have an ult in a sense because he has to steal and then he has to use, and a lot of times you can kill him while he's stealing. The bunny's really good. The missiles are really good, and the spirit is really good. But I don't know. Like I said, maybe I just suck at him, but he doesn't feel amazing, you know, in the same way that these guys do. McGinnis. McGinnis is better than Grey Talon, but worse than Hayes. Actually, her turrets are trash. They do almost no damage. They're super easy to avoid. They just feed money and lane. Building's kind of fast, but like 5 of their characters literally kill them faster than her. Like the thing that she's quote unquote good at, there's other characters that are better, so she's just pointless basically. She sucks. She needs to be buffed or changed or something. I don't know. She's one of those characters that it's just annoying if she's good because her turrets are annoying. Mirage. Put him right there. Actually, right there. I feel like Bebop has been making more of an impact recently than Mirage, personally. His Jin's Mark is really easy to play around. More and more people are running debuff remover because they're just getting better at using actives and understanding when to use them. So even if he does get high stack, they just cleanse it. His beetles got nerfed. His ult got nerfed. Just the cooldown is increased by a few seconds, so it's not a big deal. But it is technically a nerf, so it's slightly worse. It is really good still because you can still side lane and force rotates and jump into fights and make your team have number advantage. So he's still good. And this is a place. This is where you want to be. You want the heroes to all be on B, really, because then it means they're just balanced. So yeah, I think that's a good place for him. Moen Krill, he's good. He's fun. He's OP. Well, he's not OP, but he's annoying. You know, if Mo decides that you can't play the game, then you just can't play the game. He's gonna just Phantom Strike you, Warp Stone to you, throw an Alchemical Flask down and ult on you, and you just are dead 80% of the time just from that. And if any of his team are around, then you're for sure dead. He's a really good anti-carry. If one person's getting fed on the enemy team, but you have a Mo on your team, then just tell the Mo, hey, make sure you ult this guy every single time. And if he does, you start turning the game around because that guy starts thinking he's strong and he starts to overextend or overplay his hand, and then you just ultimate kill him. Really, really good hero. Paradox. She's still one of my favorite characters. She's, in my opinion, one of the funnest and coolest designed characters. But just thinking about her in a sense, she is not the strongest character. You can do insane things with her. So like I'm gonna put her first place B because I don't think she's strong. I think she's kind of in a good place, I guess. Not amazing, not terrible. I usually do really good with her because I know how to execute well with her, and a lot of players aren't used to playing against good paradoxes. So I can tell that I kind of catch people off guard. So maybe I'm using myself as a bias here, but she either bottom A or first place B. But to be fair, I'm going to put her in B. One of the funnest characters for sure, in my opinion. Strongest? Nah. Calico is the strongest. Pocket. Pocket, I'm going to put bottom A. Again, if I'm looking at the pockets that suck at pocket, then he's D, right? Because I've seen some pretty terrible pockets. But like actual good pocket, they know how to get in, they know how to get out, they know when to do rotates, they play around, they have so much movement because they get Warp Stone, Majestic Leap, plus their jacket ability, I don't even know what it's called. Pocket is super, super good in the right hands. So I'm going to go with A on Pocket. Seven has kind of made a slight comeback, in my opinion. And his ult build is finally good again. So for the longest time, his ult was trash, where when you ult, you just feel like you do less damage, and you feel like your DPS just drops, plus you're stationary, so everyone just kills you. But his ult finally feels good again. His ult build is really fun to play. He farms super fast. He's always been a good farmer. He clears waves super well. He's a good character. He's honestly in a pretty good spot. So I like him. Shiv. He isn't that good. I don't care if Shiv is running around in your alchemy lobbies or I don't even know what they're called. Your what, like the blue one or whatever, running around in these lobbies killing everyone because someone's smurfing on Shiv and Shiv is so OP. Oh my goodness, he's so OP. Oh, he isn't. He's not. He's honestly not good. His damage is pretty bad if he's doing any build besides the Dash God build or the melee build. Then it's pretty good, I guess. But it's predictable, easy to avoid, one dimensional. You can just land a parry one time, and chances are you're winning the fight. Yes, if he gets ahead, he's annoying. Yes, if he's really ahead and he's tanky and everyone's running in straight lines and he's dashing through them and killing everyone. Oh my goodness, and he ults everyone. Oh my goodness, he's so OP. He's really not. He honestly might be the only person he might be better than is Granny, but just because I feel like he's not good. He needs to be buffed. Honestly, his bloodletting should almost be reworked because that's like the only good ability is bloodletting. His other abilities are not that good. His shotgun kinda sucks, honestly. And the thing is, everyone says, "Oh, he's so OP." If he's so OP, then play him. Just play him, and then you'll realize, oh, he's really not that OP. Anyone that plays him says he's not OP. Everyone who plays against him says he's OP. But just because you're feeding doesn't mean the character's OP. Or just because there's like a couple of good shivs out there doesn't mean the character's OP. The character sucks. Again, I'm sticking to it. I don't care about all the negative comments that say, "Oh, this guy sucks. What rank is this idiot? He's not even playing the same game as me. Oh my goodness, has he ever played against this person that plays Shiv? Have you ever?" I don't care. The character's not good. Every other character is better. I'm gonna put Vindicta in A. Is that a good spot? Yeah, I think A is fair. So her root is still overpowered. It's still way too easy to land. It still grabs you from a mile away and pulls you back. Her damage is pretty good if she gets fed, then it's insane. But even if she's not fed, then it's still pretty good. Um, her ult, it's a good way to get fed. So making her damage insane. She can rotate really fast. Her fly is a way better version of Great Talon's fly. Her hawk ability is meh, but I mean, her three other abilities and her playstyle is good. She can zone out long areas. Of course, she is easy to shut down. Of course, she is easy to shut down if you guys try to, but I don't know. She's in a good spot. She's really strong. Viper. So, if I made this tier list on day one when these guys got released, I would say Viper's S, but he got nerfed literally twice already, and he got nerfed indirectly because all gun builds got nerfed. So he basically got nerfed 3 times already, and I still think he's first place B. I still think he's in a really good spot. He's really strong. He's really fun to play. His slither is pretty funny. Also, another thing is people are just kind of more used to his hitbox, so they're just better at shooting him. So that helps with him being worse. Because at first everyone was just like, "Whoa, his hitbox is so weird." So even with all of that, he's still first, in my opinion, first place B. He's really fun to play. His damage is crazy, and you can melt. I think this guy kills towers with probably the fastest in the whole game, faster than McGinnis, faster than um, Geist. So really good, really good. A really good Viscous still isn't going to like 1v9. So I'll put Viscous right. Honestly, bottom B. Like I almost put him here, and then I realized no, Dynamo's better. Kelvin's better. Lash is better. So let's go. Let's go first place B. So I think that's a fair place to place him. He can be insane. He can do insane plays. His cube can clutch so many scenarios where his cube comes in clutch. His ult is meh unless you catch people in like the secret shop area or something. His fist is really good. splatter gun, splatter ability. Does a lot of damage. It's easy to avoid though, but it does do a lot of damage if you can like punch him into the wall and then throw that splatter at him. So I don't know. He's not in a bad spot. He's not amazing. So bottom B, I think is fair. That's where I'm gonna put him. Warden. I still think Warden's good. I feel like he's kind of been outshined a little bit after his nerfs, and also guns being nerfed. That kind of hurt him a bit because his gun was just crazy on the damage. I still think his ult, it's easy to play around, but it's way strong. If you pull off the ult, it's way strong, and with Majestic Leap, you can pull it off a little easier. So he's in a good spot. I would put him right under Viper, in my opinion. Is Wraith better than Mo? Because he kind of does a similar thing where you can just decide, I'm going to ult this person every time, kill him, basically free. But I feel like Mo is a little more consistent. I'm going to put, so Wraith and Mo are very similar as far as strength. I'm going to put her right below, but she's really good. Her gun's really good. Her gun did get nerfed with everybody's, obviously. Her cards still do insane damage. Her teleport is still kind of easy to cancel and play around, but it can be still good. The ult is buffed and nerfed in a sense, so overall it is buffed. It's a way better ability. However, it's nerfed in the sense that you can use debuff remover to take it off, and maybe it forces people to buy that and then actually use it. But the problem is sometimes they're buying it anyway because there's enough other things in the game that are good to get debuff remover. So, and you can't debuff remove the Mo and Krill. So that's kind of the logic between saying Mo and Krill is still slightly better than Yamato. I'm glad she's not S, but she's probably right there in my opinion. You know what? Let's do that. I think she's still really good. Still pretty insane. I think her ult might need to be reworked something because it's not fun to play against, and it's honestly not even fun to play as her, in my opinion. Like I every time I play her and I'm like, oh, let's get good at her because she's overpowered, right? Let's play the meta. But then I just play her. I'm like, even if I'm killing people, I'm just like, it's not as fun. It's not as flashy. It's not as It's I leaped to him, I slashed him. Now I'm throwing Chinese darts at him, right? And it does a lot of damage. I don't know. The ult needs to be changed in some way. Maybe some kind of rework. I don't know. Because just having a unstoppable Colossus refresher as your ult, it's like I don't know. It's not the worst ever. She used to be way overpowered, way annoying, and now she's not. So I can't complain too much. I just think she's boring. Basically, she's boring to play against, and she's boring to play as. So, but she's still strong. So I'm not gonna rate these guys because they're not out, and I never play Hero Labs, so I honestly have no idea if these guys are good or not. I don't even know what they do. I don't even know what this guy does, so I'm not even gonna talk about those guys. Okay, this is the list. Let's double check it. Anything that's an eyesore that kind of stands out as like wrong. It is weird to have. Okay, I'll do this to be fair, because it is weird to have 3 guys in D. Great Talon and Shiv are absolutely the 2 worst characters in the game. There's no question about it. I know everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Shiv is so good. You're playing a different game than me because Shiv is so good." No, not true. Feel free to say that. Feel free to tell me how wrong I am. Feel free to tell me I'm retarded because I didn't put Hayes in A or Shiv in A or whatever. There are a few of these that I feel like there's no contest though. Calico is S, Calico's the best hero in the game, and these 2 are the worst. Everything else, I guess it's up to opinion, but I feel like I'm being pretty fair here. Anyway, then the next one.